Hello guys, and welcome to the first tutorial of AI video production editor. The first time you set up the AI video production studio, you should set up an API key. And for that I will just show you where you can set up your API keys. For example, I think you will get this interface where you can just copy paste your API keys. And the links are in the description where you can set up the API keys. I will also show you here now in the tutorial in your web browser where you can basically copy paste your API keys, and then you just need to copy paste them here inside. But let's start with Gemini. For that you go out of your tab here, then you go to your browser. In that case you go to, the link is in the description, to Google AI Studio, and then you click here, and then you go to API keys directly in the dashboard. If you are the first time here, you get to get API key, and then you have your API key here that you can copy. What is important to note for Gemini API is that you need to set up a credit card and a price step 1 at least to get good results with it, because otherwise you can't use View and the good Gemini models for analysis. So I really recommend to set up a good model there. Next step is to go to replicate. They're the same thing. You're going to here, then to API tokens, and then you just copy your token or create one if you don't have one and enter the name. In that case you can type AI video production and then you create, just enter. And for ElevenLabs, you just go to the ElevenLabs platform, and same thing here, you go to developer API keys and then just copy your API key, and with them done, you go just back to your application for each of them, like always, and copy like each of the API keys, copy paste inside. And for Fall AI, I will just show you directly how you do it. So you copy it basically, and then you paste it directly. I think everyone understood, but for Fall AI, I will show how it works. Fall AI in that case. So we log in to manage, and then API keys, and what you do here is add a new key or copy yours. In that case I have already created one. You can just go to the application, in that case here, and just copy it, save changes, and you are inside of you're ready to start. You have all your API keys set up, and what you can do now is to write a script or upload one via import script, or just copy paste your script text basically here inside. You can use a style preset if you have already a project set up. The first time I don't think you have. You can open also projects. I will now just for showcasing create a script with AI writer. For that I will have a little idea. I want to create a commercial or ad, and I would like to create a Mercedes-Benz ad, car commercial, because I like this car, for the EQS. That's an electric car. I don't know if you know it. It looks quite cool. And then we just hit generate key mode, and he will now generate a script for us. We need to wait around 20 to 30 seconds, and normally it's done afterwards. So be sometimes patient, but normally it doesn't take too long. And then you have generated your script here. And basically what you can do next, you can, if you don't like the script at all, you can delete it and rewrite one. But if you like some areas not, you can just say, hey, you just copy what you want with, like, you hit like you drag your mouse and select, and then he has already saved what you selected, and then you can just type, okay, I would like to be it cooler, or what you want to edit. But I think I will leave it like it is at this moment, but you can edit it in the way you want. Yeah. Style, I will go for photo realistic, or select here and cinematic. You can also select some presets, but write also your own styles inside. You can type in a large line, and then if you're happy with everything, you can just hit Analyze Script, and then we will go to the next step. So he's still analyzing, but in that time you don't need to stay in this tab, by the way, he's doing it automatically. So you could also go to Edit Page, Avatar, and look around what's going on here. Yeah, but anyways, now it should be done. Yeah, there it is. So you have the Mercedes-Benz EQS as product asset. What you can do with it, you can adjust the prompt, and then you can select one of these models. I like Nano Banana Pro, that's Gemini 3 Pro. There's also Qwen, like all the good AI models, Logically, GPT. They have all their strengths and weaknesses, but you can just test out and you see which one works with what. Important for Gemini and Flash, you need the Gemini paid subscription, and all of them cost you in your API, that you know that, but not too much. So for example, Z image is very cheap and fast, so I will just use it and go for an expensive model Gemini, that you see the quality. So we start, I would go for 16:9 is fine for me aspect ratio wise, and just hit generate, and he's generating my assets. For characters, you have a lot of functions here. You can add a ElevenLabs voice. You can go to select what kind of spec one should have. In that case, I will go for full body shot and white studio background. I will just hit generate, and he will generate my character. There we have the MBUX. That's already very great. And we have all EQS, very beautiful, and or the best or nothing. That's cool. By the way, I will just select a folder that you know, if you want to close your project and reopen it, we can now say Mercedes-Benz add, erstellen, and öffnen, open. And then we just hit save project, and then the assets are saved in this project folder. So you have them also locally here in your media, in images, references. You see already they are saved. Logic, yeah, it's quite logic, I think. Anyways, then you see here your character. You can hit full view. You could also go to the open sheet and you can generate her more outputs, give her more nodes and more angles like you want. You can customize it as you want, but I will just hit generate through all the assets we need. So tuck, and then we should be, yeah, there you have your first road, the second, a bridge, city bridge. Yeah, that looks good to me. We can go to next step, and that's exactly storyboard generation. Here you have a lot of features. For example, you can choose your custom camera, your lens, and to get your storyboard inside, you need the context of both characters, in that case David and Anna, and all, and you just hit here, next storyboard, and then he will again generate the storyboard that is context aware of the script and of the character and environment references. Will show you in depth how it works exactly. And then you have here, ready to go, your Mercedes-Benz ad and storyboard. And what you can do here is basically you have all your shots here, right? You see, you could add an extra shot, but I will just go with my shots in that case, and will select IMAX for them and anamorphic, because I love this look. It's very cinematic, but you can also go for different looks, like amateur iPhone look, or go also for different aspect ratios. But I will go for cinematic in this case, and will select again Gemini 3 Pro. You could go with each other model, like GPT image. It doesn't matter. You can go with each model you want. What you can do here, You can select again the lens. I will click apply to all. That anamorphic is pre-selected. Now it's here. You could change the angle if you're not happy. Regenerate the angle. You can add a voiceover. You can add a open pose. That's basically a skeleton. I have already some selected. And then he will apply the skeleton to the character. I will not do that now because it doesn't matter in that case, because we don't have a skeleton, but we will just hit generate, and then we will generate our shots logically with the context model. You have also, by the way, the possibility to add another context reference if you're not happy, or edit your prompt here. In that case, I won't do that because I think he's smart enough. And a little function to have shot continuity. For example, if this shot relies on the next shot and should have the same context, you just hit force on, then it tries to get shot continuity over the shots. So now we have here a full shot, full view. That's already great. We have here the driver who tries to be relaxed. That's very cool, like in the script. Anna sits calmly in the driver's seat with her eyes closed, and you see already it's the Anna that we generated here. That's a very cool thing, and it works perfectly. And yeah, you see already her thing works here, and she's in the traffic thing, and we can go on with the story. For that case, I think it's enough. If you want to go in depth, I will go in depth tutorial for the storyboard page, but I think that's enough for testing at the beginning, because that's just a short tutorial how to go through the software. You could go to the whole entire process and generate all the shots if you want, and you can upload also if you want some from your personal projects or from other platforms. You could sketch also. I wouldn't recommend that because sketching is confusing sometimes the AI, but you can try if you want. Maybe you get better results than me. Anyways, that's for the storyboard page. To the filming page, where you can select the camera movement, you can select your video model. In this case, I love Seedream Pro. I will go for Seedream, or maybe I go for one, because it's faster and cheaper in this case, and it's just for showing. Yeah, we will just hit generate, and we didn't select a movement, but you could. If you don't like your prompt, you can enhance it here or edit it and add a motion prompt. What you also could do is select, for example, that's a special thing, Kling motion control, where you can upload your motion reference if you would like to. But in that case, I won't do that. I will just go for one image. But it's everything understandable if you're coming from AI space, I think. But if you have deeply questions, just ask me in the comments and I can explain how it works. Yeah, that's so far for the filming. And you see already that's all the shots I generated already in the storyboard appear here. And they are in the storyboard. So that's a cool thing, I think. And if you're done, you can get a deep analyst, you can run analysis, and he gives you feedback based on what your project stand is and with shot continuity. And when you're done basically with animating, when you animated your first shot, you can already export it to XML. I will just save. You can just export it to XML for Resolve or Premiere. Yeah, basically, then you can go to edit page and can run it through. You can select between multiple aspect ratios, like a basic editor where you can edit stuff. I think it's understandable. You could generate music for your edit with ElevenLabs. It's also a cool feature. And then we have the photo editor where you can upload here image, and like it works like Photoshop basically. It's very easy. Avatar tool where you can create avatars and like in HeyGen generate your avatar things. You could trim the clip, but we need to upload one first. So we go to filming. There we have the first video output with LTX. LTX was reliable. So we will just go to review, and you see now it's ready to timeline, and we will just export it to the timeline. In that case, You could also export it to Premiere, like I said, and then you have your clip here. You can look at it and just play. You see already you have your clip here inside from your ad. We could also go for 16:9 if we would like to. Let's test. Yeah, looks great, cool. And yeah, then what you can do, you can go to post-production, and I try to put in a tool like Dehancer where you can add Kodak LUTs and put like things like vignette, bloom, halation, and film grain. I hope it's already interesting enough for you, but that's a basic walkthrough, yes. So you could import also your own LUT if you want like to, or you could analyze the timeline with audio cues and then get a feedback, and he generates you then basically music. You can upload your timeline, but I put it in. You can test it so far, but at this moment it isn't that good. It will enhance in the next versions. You can just try it out or in beta still, so just test it out and see what you get. And then you can export your project if you're happy, like in custom aspect ratios. Can you also put your custom one? And yeah, basically you can just hit the file name and MP4 in that case, for example, and then test, and then start render, and then he's rendering the timeline. And I have only one clip inside, so it should go fast, and then you can download it as MP4, like you see here. Yeah, but you also could, like I said, go just in the project page, in the review, and export to timeline in that case, like you want. And with that, you can generate our entire video from scratch with a lot of controls in AI video production, and can customize it like you want, but also can very fast generate just concepts of your ad and get a final export very fast out of this software. That's it for the first tutorial. I'm Ludwig Kiele, and I was happy to show you my first beta version of my software. I hope you liked it, and see you soon with a new update and some other features that I will show in depth.